obviously fees are increasing, but Welsh students will have that covered by the government. And well, these changes, we believe, are unfair on anyone, and if having such an increased burden on them will adversely affect the participation from people from poorer backgrounds, and that is not because education should always be available to those willing to learn, not just those able to pay. Because education are also called by the government as unavoidable, but that's just not the case. David Cameron says we'll be spending $5 billion this year paying for higher education, whereas we've got, if we just enforce existing tax law, we would have 140 billion more pounds per year. That would completely cover the higher education budget several times over. If Vodafone alone paid their $6 billion a year tax bill, they could pay for higher education alone. The cuts aren't necessary. All they do is damage the future of this country and our economy. Because every year, graduates put in a hell of a lot more to the economy, and over their lifetime, they will pay up to, I think it's 10,000 or 100,000 more than non-graduates. So reducing the number of graduates we have in this country will adversely affect the economy now. So basically, this motion, therefore, is calling on the President to not just support cuts, but to actively support all non-violent demonstrations up to this point. I believe he's already pretty much doing that anyway. It's also asking the activities officer to encourage all students of this university to get involved in any discussions, debates, campaigns against it, and to provide support where necessary. And possibly most crucially, the motion calls for the executive to get the university to state its stance on the cuts and to come out with opposition against them as unnecessary and just 15 completely savage. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. I think that is the first ever round of applause we've had for a motion so far. Congratulations. Did you get one? Susan? All right. From what I remember. Okay, would anyone like to ask Andrew a question if you just want to stay at the phone, Andrew? Would anyone like to ask a question? Okay, then I'll open up the floor to anyone who would like to speak against this motion. Would you like to speak against? Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, okay. What time is? Did everyone hear that? So we are not saying that the Guild is working hard, but there's quite an issue with a lack of information and detail being announced from the Welsh Assembly and Westminster governments. So the university will probably find out before the Guild, but as soon as they do, we'll find out as well. Does that cover what you said? Okay. You'd like to speak against this motion? Okay. Your name is? Adam Robertson. Okay, you have 3 minutes to speak against this motion.
I don't expect any support for supporting the cuts. I don't expect any votes to support, the cuts. But I'm afraid we're in a difficult situation. We've got a cut. And it's not just higher education that's being cut. Defence is being cut. Tridents have to be cut. And I know some of you are probably non-nuclear and we should have nuclear weapons, and that's fair enough. We live in a democracy. But I believe in Andrew's that education is right for all. But at the same time, we've got to make cuts. And I'm sorry that this has got to be done. But look, the figures are saying that 71.2% of GDP we're in debt. Do we really want to be like Ireland? Look what they're going through. Unemployment going through the roof. That's what we're looking at. The statistics of Ireland, it's a real shame, really, of Ireland. And, tuition fees, yes, they've got to be raised, and I've told my local MPs they should be raised gradually. They shouldn't just be put on 9K, but I accept it's a price worth paying. It's like John Kennedy said, think what you can do for your country, not think what your country can do for you. It's that kind of world we're living in, really, now. And, the MPs and the non-percent, they're not doing this because they want to. They're doing it because they have this necessity. everyone's got to pay more, not just higher education people. I mean, for example, you know, every political party except there's a price to pay for everyone, not just students. And, you know, at the same time, you know, these mass demonstrations, you know, they're not being rationalised. There's been reports of egg throwing, damaging buildings, you know, that's hardly making a point. If you want to make a point by saying, you know, do it rationally through your local politicians or through the university, not through egg throwing or saying to Cheryl Gillen she can't because she's going to, you know, have, you know, certain people frosting on there, which is completely unfair and unjustified. And, you know, I understand the Guild have got to take this position, but I just feel that there are people you're not listening to, and I think all the facts should be looked at before, you know, saying we're anti-carts, you know, because, you know, we've got the biggest structural deficit ever, and it's just unrealistic to say to students you can't, you know, free tuition fees or the cap's got to stay the same. We've got to pay a bit more, and I've had lobbied to my MPs that they should allow working class students and students who can't pay much. They should be grants, but I'm afraid, you know, we've got to pay a little bit more. But I do agree it should be universal. Thank you.
Okay, I've had a request for a quality check, and this is a part of the Constitution where we have to now check to make sure that there are 100 people in the room to make sure that this meeting is valid. There's a very particular part of the Constitution where it has to be called from the floor. If it turns out that the meeting is in court, then the meeting isn't actually authorised to pass any policy. So we now have to make this. Pardon? Has to be called from the floor before it can be checked. What will happen as a result of that? All policy will then be passed to the executive committee to have a temporary judgment, which will take place on Monday. Monday is 6th. A decision will be made then, immediately announced on the website about what decision has been made, and it will be reported back at the next GM next year for approval. So just give us a second to count. Is anyone at the bar? We have 58 people.
Is the meeting on Monday open? Can we come and watch? Yeah.
What we will do is move it into the committee room, which has enough space for observers to come. The meeting will be at 6:30. So in a meeting room at the end of the corridor, and as always, anyone is welcome to attend the meeting. So yeah, I am terribly sorry about this, but it means we can't actually pass any policy at this meeting. But it will be discussed fully at the executive committee, at which a temporary judgment will be made.
Would a vote of the motion here advise the decision of the exec?
Yeah, we can do that. We'll carry on and we will debate the motions as they are, but they won't. But any vote will not be binding upon the guild. So, going back to the motion, fighting fees and cuts. Would anyone like to speak against for this motion again? Would anyone like to speak against this motion? Therefore, because the basket debate has to be an equal number of speeches for and against, I'm going to take the vote for the motion because we don't have anyone to speak against the motion. So it would be unbalanced. Okay, so we're going to take this to a vote now. Voting is done to vote for the motion, to vote against the motion, or to abstain, which means you don't want your vote to be counted either way. So can I take all votes in favour of this motion, please? All votes against? Any abstentions? Okay. This motion clearly passes, but is not binding.